This is level I, list 13, and we're doing the day 1 page. And in all of these words, we've got a short vowel, but it's only followed by one consonant. So we've got edit. Let's highlight the short vowel. Edit, the, the, pl, the, the, itty, itty, opti, atben, opben. So if we're going to break those words into syllables, we would normally have 2 consonants after a short vowel, but in these ones, these are the words that are not very common. They've got 1 consonant after the short vowel. Not very common at all. So you need to remember what these words are, that you're not doubling that consonant after the short vowel. So we've got some other things in here to look at too. You'll notice that we've got the ER on the end of many of these words, and we've also got the Y saying the long E sound on the end of those words as well, and that's just in at the end. Okay, so what do these words mean? We've got edit, which means when you edit something, maybe you've written something and you want to improve on it, so you might change some of the spelling, the punctuation, put in some more full stops, put in some capital letters, and you might even rewrite a sentence if it doesn't really make sense, if it's not clear. So it's when you change to make something better that you've already written. Ever means there's no end to it, it goes forever and ever. Never means it will never happen, it's definitely a no thing. Clever means when you're quite smart, you're clever at doing something, or it just could mean that you're clever at, say, woodwork, or you're clever at playing the piano. River is a flowing body of water, usually from the land, and it flows out to the ocean. A city is much bigger than a town. It usually has some big buildings and it has a lot of people living in a city. The interesting thing to note on city too is you've got the CI. We know when we have an I following a C, it's going to make it soft sound S. Whereas here we've got an L following the C, so it's going to make its hard sound K. Okay, pity is when you feel for someone else. You're worried about them and you're showing a feeling for them that you'd like to help them. Body is the body, like the body that we walk around in. It's ourself. And it can be like a group of things. So you could have a body of people that like to go running together. So it could mean a group of something. A cabin is usually a little house, quite often in the country. And you can have a cabin in the aircraft or in a car, so it can mean a small space. A robin is a little bird that we may see around if we're lucky. Okay, let's read the word, sound the word, spell the word. So the first word is edit. So we're going edit, it. If you want to do it as a syllable, it will be ed, it. And then we're going to spell it E-D-I-T, E-D-I-T, E-D-I-T. And cover it, write it 3 times, check it, and if you've made a mistake, start again, rub it out, start again, and then you've got to finish the rest of the page. This is level I, we're on to list 13, and this is the day 2 page. So on this page we're talking about a short vowel and a closed syllable, and we're not doubling the consonant after the short vowel, which is quite unusual. There's not a lot of words that this applies to, so we've just made one list of them for you. These are the most common ones that we could find. So this is an et, it's making an et sound, it, op, at, op. So you could highlight those short vowel sounds. Now after those short vowel sounds, you've got to notice that we've only got one consonant. So let's highlight that single consonant after the short vowel in all of those words. And as I said, these are the most common words that this applies to. There's not a lot of words in English that we have one consonant after a short vowel. So if we have a look at these words, if we wanted to split these words, we'd split them after the consonant. So we would close that syllable with the consonant. And so that's closing it with the consonant, close syllable, close it there. And then we add the next syllable on. Okay, so if we look at what these words mean, edit means when you've written a story, the teacher might say go back and edit it. So she wants to you to make it ready for others to read. So if you've got any spelling or punctuation problems in there or errors, she wants you to change them. And also if you've written a sentence and it doesn't make a lot of sense, you might need to rewrite the sentence so it's got a clear message. Ever means it goes on and on and on. Never means it won't happen, no matter what. Clever means you've got a good brain and you're good at thinking. River is a body of water that flows from the land out into the ocean. A city is a place where a lot of people live and work. It's a lot bigger than a town. A pity is where you feel for someone who's not as lucky as you. A body is our bodies that we walk around in. It's where all our organs and our arteries, etc. are contained. Or it could mean a group of something, so it could be a group of people. A cabin is a small enclosure in a car, a truck, a plane, or it could even be a little house in the woods. So it usually means a small space. A robin is a type of bird. So let's read the words, sound the words, spell the words and write them. So we've got edit, E-D-I-T, cover it, and then write it. Now here you've just got to finish off those words. Use these words up here to help you. Link them to their meaning and write the word again next to them. Fill in the gaps with the missing list word. The something on the boat is small and uncomfortable. The cabin on the boat will be the word you fill in there. You can read these ones on your own and fill them in. Write the list word to match the picture. You just have to label each of those pictures. This is level I, list 13, and we're doing the day 3 page. So in this list, we're looking at where we have a short vowel sound. So let's go through. We've got an it, o, o. You can highlight all of those as well. Then you need to highlight colour to another colour. And we're looking at, we've got these words. There's not a lot of words where this happens, but we've got a short vowel and only one consonant after it. We know from all the work we've done so far that usually when you have a short vowel, you have 2 consonants after it, a short vowel. They don't have to be the same consonant, but we usually have 2. So these ones are some of the most common words that we found that we only have 1 consonant after the short vowel. It's not a common thing in English words. And if we looked at these words where they come from, they probably come from other languages. So let's have a look at some of the other patterns in these words too. So we've got the on the end, which we're probably giving a schwa sound to. So we're probably going, rather than going ever, we're probably going never. So it should be never. So if we pronounce them correctly, it would make them easier to spell. We've got the Y on the end here for the E sound, and we've got the I in there. It's quite easy for the in on the end of those words. Okay, so let's read the word, sound the word, spell the word. We've got it. So we know if we're splitting these words, we're splitting them after that consonant because we have to close that syllable with the consonant. So we'd be splitting them after, we'd have vowel consonant, and that's where we'd be closing them off. They're all closed syllables at the start because they've got a short vowel and we're closing them with the consonant. So we've got ed, it, or we could go ed, it, E-D-I-T. Probably easier to break them down into their syllables to sound them and then to spell them. Plurals, if we have one cabin, we say cabin, but if we have lots of them, we say cabins. So you're generally adding the S to the end. Be very careful on this one. You've got a consonant before the Y, so that means you've got to change the Y to an I before you add the ES. And the others are fairly simple, you're just adding the S. Here you've got to combine with a list word, forever, for instance. You can work out the other ones. How many words can you make with the word edit? So you can't change the letters, you've got to have the word in all of these. So you could write edit lots and then you could just add to them. So you should be able to find 3, 6, 9 words with edit as the base. So I'm just going to give you one, edits. How many words can you make with the word body? So you could write body in all of these and then you could add to it. So it could be by adding to the start or the end of word. I'm going to put anybody, is the one I'm going to give you. You'd have everybody, but there should be 9 words that you can find with body either at the start or at the end of the word. So proofread and rewrite the word. You've got which one says river. You've got to write it correctly here. Off you go. This is level I, list 13, and we're doing the day 4, and it's about plural apostrophes down the base here, and at the top we're filling in the gaps with these words to make the sentences make sense. So the bracketed word here has to be replaced by a word in this table. So let's read the top line. Lady, dripping, bundle, spiders, snakes. You can read the rest of those on your own. Then it says the man and woman. So we've got to find a word to replace woman. Would be lady. And once you've used the word, I suggest you cross it off so you know it's not going to be there by the time you get to the end. It'll make it a lot easier. The man and lady went for a holiday and it's a place where lots of trees grow, so it's probably a jungle. So write the word and then cross it off. If you get stuck somewhere, we'll leave that one till the end and you'll find it easier if there's only a couple of words left to choose from as to which would be the best word. Now down the bottom here you're doing plural apostrophes. So we've done a little bit of work on apostrophes. Now we know that these are all plural apostrophes. So that means that if it's a plural we put the apostrophe after the plural word. So dogs is the plural, so the apostrophe must go at the end of the base word dogs. So, but let's see if it makes sense. If a regular plural noun is used, the apostrophe goes after the S. E.g., all the cat's tails are long. We know there's lots of cats because it says all. So cats would be the base word and we'd put the apostrophe after the S. Add the apostrophe to the plural noun in the sentence. So we know these are all plural nouns. So the base word would be dancers. All the shops, doors. Shops. Swimmers. Okay? They're all going to be plurals. So therefore, most dogs' bowls are round. We put the apostrophe after the plural noun. You can finish those